Good evening, YouTube. It's Francia, back with another message. When God says, "Shorty, go feed my people," be transparent and give them a mistake that you have made. Be transparent with them. Show them a mistake that you made so they won't make the same mistake. God also say, "My people perish by lack of knowledge, the knowledge of God." He's saying, "I will reject you and your children. You're not my people. You ignored my law, so I will ignore you. When you and your children call me, I will ignore you and I will ignore your children." So he's saying that the law of God, they're not applying the law to their life. They're just going on with their day to day, not asking, not praying, not seeking his face to get their instructions. So that's what he's saying about my people perish by lack of knowledge. And he also said they can't live off bread alone. So you can't eat regular food and not have your spiritual food, because you need both to survive. So that's what he wanted me to start the video with, and that's my intro to every video. And I also have a message today. It's coming from Philippians 2:14. Do everything without murmuring, and God will activate his purpose, his purposeful involvement in our life and in the world according to his way, through individuals, his people, his places, his things, and his ideas. So God is also in charge of promotions on jobs. He's in charge of the people, how they act, places, and things, and ideas. So all the time, it don't be from the adversary when people act crazy. It be God trying to grow us, that we help each other, that he get the glory from it, that he bless us with the job, for instance, he'll give us a job and he'll bless us with the job, and then it's all a whole bunch of chaos at the job and confusion. So it's like, okay, people, everybody have something going on. Let me just say this before I start the message. Everybody have something going on. So it may look like this person is being confrontational, or this person is, and sometimes they are being confrontational, but it's like how God is showing us, everybody have something going on. So how are you dealing with it? If they're like that, if you're saying they're confrontational and they're like that, so you don't supposed to be confrontational with them, how are you dealing with it? How are you trying to help the situation so we can help the people? Because we got to get to the real blessing, how God gave us the job for the first place, to help the people, not for us to be going back and forth with each other as co-workers. So okay, so that's done. So I work at a very well-known resort, and for very wealthy people, and we also rent it out to like regular people. So they have like timeshares there. They have like it's owners there that own certain rooms and stuff and estates. So, but and also like I said, regular people come in that's not owners, and they like rent the property as well. So God was showing me when he say be transparent and give the people something through a mistake that I have made. The word is for me first. The word is for me first, but he also had me feed his children, his people. So when I say I don't have an opinion, I don't have an opinion. It's through my experience that God allowed me to teach his people. So so he was showing me. So this lady came up. Her name is, she's beautiful too. Her name is Kelly. And she was with her husband, and she had a newborn baby. The baby was not newborn, but it was a young baby. So she was just learning how to walk. So she was like toddler, just learning how to walk. And she had two other children that was little too. And they were like running around and stuff. But the baby, I guess the baby just was learning how to walk because I saw her like put the baby down a little bit and like was like walking with her and picking her back up. But it was a whole family. So she came up and she came in line and she was like, "Hi, I'm ready to check in." And she told me her name and everything. She gave me her credentials and everything and her credit card. And I was like, okay, let me check to see if it's ready. So I went in and I checked to see if it was ready, and it wasn't ready. So she said, "Okay, thank you. I'll come back." Right? And I said, "Oh, okay, I'll be here, see you soon." So this particular day, we was really, really busy. And it was a lot going on. So, some of the people were like, aggravated because their room wasn't ready or whatever. And then some of them was like, well, I'm owners and, I did it months ago and, they wasn't as nice as she was about it. So I was like, okay, we have to wait up on our other end to make sure the room is ready for you. And, I just told them everything that I could tell them. Like if it was me, like what I wanted, not what I wanted to hear, but the truth about what was going on at the time. So that's what I told them. And some of them was, like, okay. I said, you can leave your name and number and I'll call you when it's ready. So some of them was like, okay, real understanding. Most of them was real understanding, but it was like, one or two was like, this is ridiculous, da da da, and so okay, like that. So God started talking to me about Kelly. Like out of all the people that came to me that day, the front desk, he started talking to me about the lady Kelly. And he said, Kelly. And I was like, Kelly? And I had to think for a minute because I didn't know who Kelly was because I don't know her. So he brought it to my attention, a lady that came up. And I was like, oh, Kelly, yes. And God started telling me about all the blessings he had for us. And he started reminding me about how you wait for the blessing that he had for us. And I was like, oh, wow. And he was like, you guys complain and murmur and, you don't understand it through your frustration, all the things that the people were saying to me. God started talking to me about it. He started like putting it together so I could understand it, so I could make a video about it. And he was saying that, like the people, aren't kind, but, I still choose to bless them. They don't deserve it. And he was saying that, some of them are very patient. And that's what he was saying about Kelly. He was like, Kelly. And he was like, she showed a great example of how it is to wait for what you paid for what's yours. She was an owner. And her husband was waiting their turn. And the other people was coming back and forth like, yo, it's not ready yet. What's going on? And she came up twice. And I said, Kelly? And she said, yes. I said, stay right there to the side. And she was like, okay. And she stayed right there to the side. Her husband never said one thing the whole time. He was waiting with the bags and the children. And she came up twice. She was never complaining. She never acted like she didn't understand what was going on. She was very patient and she was very humble and she was very, she was very humble and she was very patient. And that's why God started showing me and telling me about her. It's how we're waiting for our gifts and how we're waiting for our blessings. He was like, Kelly is an example of how you guys supposed to be waiting for it. And when she came up twice, I couldn't let her go back in line and stay in line again. So I told her to stay off to the side. And I'm gonna periodically check for her as I was checking into other people, I was still checking for her. And when her room got ready, I said, Kelly, your room is ready. I left the desk to go get her. And I came back. I said, Kelly, your room's ready. Come on. So I checked her and her husband and the kids in. And she was like, thank you so much. And I was like, oh, no, you're welcome. And I said, Kelly. And she was like, yes. I said, God started talking to me concerning you. And she was just listening to me. And I was like, you know what? I said, he used you as an example of how we're supposed to wait for our gifts and our blessings. You were very humble and you was very meek. And you was very patient. And I said, he wanted me to use you as an example. And I told her who I was. And she was like, thank you. And I was like, no, thank you. I said, I want to thank you for teaching me through this lesson how you wait for whatever God have for you. And you taught me something. And I said, I'm going to teach the people, how you wait, how you supposed to wait, how God say we're supposed to wait. And she was like, oh, okay. Like, she was she was a beautiful person. And then like the next day, I went to work and I saw her and her husband and the kids leaving out. It was so beautiful. Like, it was nice. And it was nice that God showed me that, because when I do the messages for me first, because I have to eat too, but he told me to go, he ordained me to teach his people and give them spiritual food so they can grow and they can be healthy and whole. And, I thought that was dope. I thought that was a good example of how he wanted me to feed his people. And, I thought that was awesome. And that was the video for today. And I always ask God, thank you, God. I always ask him when he start talking, God, how do you want me to apply whatever it is you're teaching me to my life and what you want me to learn from it? So I'm going to ask you guys, take this message back to God. Ask him how he wants you to apply it to your life and what he wants you to learn from it, because we learn from each other. I don't know everything, but I'm willing to learn anything that's pertaining to God's people and his law. And, and I ask God to help me and say, God, what do you want me to learn from it? And how do you want me to apply it to my life? So I'm telling you guys also to take it back to God and ask him what he wants you to learn from it and how he wants you to apply this to your life, because we learn from each other. And God is he promote people. He's in charge of promotions on our job. He's in charge of positions, and he's in charge of the people, because everything that happened on our job that's bad don't always come from the adversary. Sometimes it's God in his own way, how he does it, to have us learn from each other and not think we're better than each other. Nobody's better than nobody. We're all in the same boat. We're all growing and learning together. If we are willing, God is able to do anything but fail us. And that was the message for today. How are you waiting on the promises that God have for you? How are you waiting? What's your posture? How are you waiting? That was the video for today. This is what God wanted me to give his people. So I came on real quick and got the message out so the people can hear it. How are you guys waiting for? What do your waiting look like? Is it complaining? Is it because you're not understanding? Are you self-sabotaging before God give it to you? He's gonna place it in your lap. If it's yours, it's already yours. You don't gotta be mad about it. You don't have to be angry at nobody. You don't have to be jealous of nobody, because what's for you is for you. What's for the people is for the people. What's for somebody else is for somebody else. You have to be careful not to be jealous of the next person, because it could look good and it's not good at all. I'm talking about at home, not good out in the street together, not good when they're alone, not good when they're together. It could look like Don't let your eyes deceive you. Take it back to God and ask God, because it could be a whole wreck with them at home. It could be a whole wreck. And you want what they have. You don't know what it is. They could be arguing and you say, oh, I want it. You don't know. What's for you is for you. I know the plans I have for you, saith the Lord. Plans not to harm you, but give you hope in a better future and a future to come. So that's God's word. So we just say a little prayer, like my granny say, have a little talk with Jesus, and he's going to make it right. Ask for what we need. Give God his word back, which is prayer. And ask him how he wants you to apply it to your life and what he wants you to learn from it. That's what I do. It's not my opinion. It's my experience. I don't have an opinion. I do what God told me to do concerning his people. And I love you guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel. And I have other videos on my channel. Feel free to look at them and share. So that was it, guys. That was the message for today. I hope it was encouraging. I hope you guys learned something from it. And most important, have your own relationship with God. You know, somebody can pray over you, but the best prayers is your own prayers. And go back to God and ask him to help you, because he want to be a friend to you. He want you to talk to him like he's your friend. He don't care. Everything have a consequence in life. Murder, adultery, all of that have a consequence to life, but God is not holding you for it. He still loves us, regardless of where you are in your life. If you're in prison, if you're on the street, if you're a child of God, we all are children of God. He wants us all. He loves us all. It doesn't matter. I'm saying, like, if you murdered somebody, or if you're in jail, or if you're on the street, or if you don't know if you're lost, if you feel lonely, he's our everything. And he wants us to come to him. He's not holding us. He don't say, oh, I don't love you because you did that. No, he still loves us. And it's important that we go back to him and ask him, Lord, what do you want us to do, and what do you want us to learn, and how do you want us to apply it to our life? That's important, to have a talk with him, because you could sabotage yourself thinking God don't love me, or he don't want to talk to me, or he saw what I did, or he know what I did. Yes, he do know what you did. But it's also important that we go back to him and have conversation with him and get on our knees and ask for forgiveness while we still can, while we still have time, because time is still too late. Every day is still too late. But you can always ask, because you know what God does that people don't do? He search your heart. He's a heart seek. He's a heart searcher. He seek our hearts, and he knows if we're trying. He know if we're playing. He know if we're for real. He know if we don't care. But it's okay. You can go back to him and just say, Lord, forgive me. Lord, have mercy on my soul. Lord, I'm sorry. And, and just try from that point. Try not to make the same mistakes. It's hard. But, nothing is too much for him. Don't put him in a box. Don't say, oh, he can't do it, because you didn't try yet. You don't know what he can do if you didn't try. And if your faith is in other gods, or if faith is in other things, people, places, ideas, you have to say, God, I humble myself before you, and I come with the knowledge that I know. Can you please help me and give me knowledge, and give me wisdom and power and protection over my life, and give me knowledge to understand your law, not my way. Your will be done. That's all you have to do. You don't have to say it like that. You say it how you say it. But it's just that easy is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to use this as an example, as a blueprint to help you guys. You say it how you say it. Your work won't go in vain. Your action will not go in vain. God is a gentleman. He's a loving God. He's a protector. He's a provider. He loves us. But he is a gentleman. He's not going to interrupt your life, because you know what he wants you to do? He wants you to come boldly and come freely, to ask him for help, to ask for what we need. How do I know? Because I do it. I still do it. And I'm going to always continue to do it, because that's the only help that I know. That's the only help that I know that's not going to throw it in my face or say, I told you so, you messed up again. God is the only help that's going to help us like that. Sometimes people are mean, sometimes people are malicious, and sometimes people have motives. God's only motive is for us to get our lesson, how we're supposed to get our lesson, how he want to teach us. God's only motive is he want us to love our neighbors. And his only motive is that we seek him and seek his whole face for our life. And, that's the only motive that I know that God have for us, but it has to be done a certain way and let God help you with it, because you can waste so much time trying to do it by yourself or not going at all. It's better to go than not go. So that was the message for today. I love you guys. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for me. I want us to win. I want us to win together. And may God have mercy on our souls, and may he always continue to help us. And may we always want his help, so the Holy Spirit could follow us everywhere we go and protect us. I love you guys. Till next video, stay blessed and have a beautiful day.